Okay, welcome back. Lesson 30, more applications involving percent. Many times it's good to use the proportion, is over of equals percent out of 100, to solve percent problems. Let's just dive right into an example. The freshman class of 450 students is 36% of all students at the state college. How many students go to state college? And I have hint, try to use, is over of equals percent out of 100. Or sort of another take on that is part to whole equals percent out of 100. So I always like to, in these kinds of problems, I like to think about what's the part and what's the whole. Well, the freshman class of 450, that's the part, right? So part to whole, all the students, well, that's that go to state college. Well, we don't know that. So the whole is unknown, equals percent, 36% out of 100. So again, it's often good to lay out this type of proportion when solving these types of word problems, okay? And once you've laid this out, and you can see I have it pretty much written out here. Once you've laid this out, we grab another color, you can simply cross multiply and solve. And then check to see whether your answer makes sense. Okay, so 36x equals, well, 450 times 100 would be 45000, 45,000. And then, of course, to solve for x, we're going to divide both sides by 36. And for simplicity, we're going to use a calculator on this part. And for time's sake, so 45,000 divided by 36. So 1,250. So let me shrink this. So if x equals 1,250, that answer actually makes sense. How come? Because the question was, how many students go to state college? 1,250. And that makes sense that the freshman class then would be 450, because that would be about 36% of that amount. So I always try to, go with gut instinct. Clearly 1,250 is more than 450. And so we know, we just have a feeling that that answer is in the right ballpark. Okay? So again, just try using is over of equals percent out of 100 or part to whole equals percent out of 100 to deal with these kinds of problems. Let's try the next slide. Percent increase and decrease problems. Just have a couple little recipes here. I'll let you read through those, but I'm going to dive right into this first example. If my salary increases from 55,000 per year to 58,000 per year, what's the percent increase? Well, let's look at our recipe. You take the amount of increase divided by the original amount. Okay, so the amount of increase, I'm just going to write that out. Amount of increase divided by the original amount. Well, if it went from 55 to 58, it increased by 3,000. And the original amount, or I like to think of it as the starting value, was that 55,000. So the trick with this is that you make sure you divide by the original amount. And now let's literally key that in. So 3,000 divided by 55,000. And now clearly that's a decimal, but we can convert it to a percent because we want percent increase. So you're looking at about a little over 5% increase, 0.0545. So this is approximately 0.0545. So if we round to the nearest percent, really close to a 5% increase. Okay, let's try again. Suppose there's a budget crisis at a local business and an employee's hourly wage goes from $12 and is cut. So let's say hourly wages are cut from $12 an hour to $10 an hour. What percent decrease is that? So we have the recipe here, very similar in nature to what we did a moment ago. So let's take the amount of decrease. Well, if you went from 12 down to 10, the amount of decrease is 2. And then again, always divided by the original amount. And so that means the starting value. So you started at $12 per hour. So let's type that out and get a decimal. So 2 divided by 12. So really close to 17%, 0.166666. So that's approximately 0.16666. So really, really close, rounded to 17%. So again, we're looking for the percent decrease. Okay. Let's go ahead and see what's on the next slide. Percent problems involved with sales tax, commission, and discount. So most states charge a tax on certain items called sales tax. Use the strategy below to help you find the sales tax and the total amount due. Well, I noticed, let me make sure here, I noticed my problem got overlaid there, so I scooted down. So sales tax is your tax rate times your purchase price, and total price is your purchase price plus your sales tax. So just bear that in mind. Let's dive in. So in Pennsylvania, there's a 6%, that's where I live, there's a 6% luxury tax on perfume and prom dresses and all kinds of things that are considered luxuries. But if I buy a $55 bottle of, let's say, Calvin Klein perfume at Macy's, what will be my total amount due? So 55 is your purchasing price, 6% is your tax rate. So first, let's get the sales tax. Let's just map this out. Sales tax. We'll take our tax rate, which is 0.06. So, just make sure you're comfortable converting 6% to a decimal, which is 0.06, times your purchase price, which is $55. All right. And, you'll have, with this part, we're going to use our calculator for simplicity. This would be on the calculator part of the test. 0.06 times 55 is something. Okay, $3.30. So your sales tax is $3.30. Now let's add that to the purchase price and you'll have your total amount due. So the total due then would be the $55 plus the sales tax. So you're looking at $58.30. I know that a lot of people go to states where there is no sales tax when they want to go shopping, save a little money. But this is nice because it gives us a feel for computing the sales tax on a particular item. The trick is to take whatever percent it is, convert it to a decimal, multiply it by the purchase price, and you'll get the amount of sales tax. So amount of sales tax, $3.30 for that problem, and $58.30 for the total amount due. Okay, hope that helps. Let's see what we have on the next slide. The next slide is a little statement on commission. I don't know if you ever had a job where you were in commission. I used to work in sales and I'd get 3% commission off of whatever the sales for the store were that day. It was sort of a dress store. A wage is a payment for performing work, and an employee who is paid a commission as a wage is paid a percent of his or her total sales. So if I want to know how much commission I'm going to get, I'll take my commission rate times my sales for that day. So let's say a car salesman gets 8% commission from the sale of a car. Today he sells a $15,000 car. How much commission does he earn from that sale? Well, now we know the recipe. So let's take the commission rate, again, constantly converting our percent to a decimal. So now I know you're comfortable. So that's 0.08 and now times the $15,000 car. And we're just going to key that in. So 0.08 times 15,000. 1,200. Pretty nice chunk of change. So $1,200 would be the commission from that sale. And that's why I had a friend that was a car salesman, and he said sometimes you'd make a whole bunch of money in one month and no money the next month. You know, it just depend on what the sales were. So it's kind of up and down game. Yes, so $1,200 commission would be how much he would earn from that sale. All right. Hope that helps. Let's see if we have anything on the next slide. Yes, and I believe, yep, this is our final slide for discount and sales price. And this tends to be something people are comfortable with because if you're like me, you love to shop. So amount of discount is your discount rate times your original price. And your sales price is your original price minus your discount amount. So again, suppose I'm shopping at Macy's. You can tell I like to shop at Macy's. And I get a pair of jeans on sale for 30% off the ticketed price of $60. What is the amount of discount and the sales price? All right, so let's just lay this out. Amount of discount will be 30%, so as a decimal, so 0.30, times the ticket price. Now, some of you could probably do that in your head. Well, there's nothing wrong with keying that in. So 0.30 times 60, $18. So the amount of discount is $18. Okay. The sales price, or the sale price, is going to be your original price, which was $60, minus that $18, which will be $42. So I remember when I used to work in retail, we always got like a 30% employee discount, and I was constantly figuring out 30% in my head, so I got pretty good at that. So what would be a $60 pair of jeans is now a $42 pair of jeans, which makes us happy, right? Okay, hope that helps give you some general recipes and guidelines. Good luck out there.